Okay. They had this video on there with this guy smirking. This girl says that her job's the hardest job in the whole world. Smirkety, smirk, smirk, smirkety, smirky. Everybody knows the hardest job in the whole world is being the gracious good shepherd. They are weak, but he is strong. He has to carry the load of all the sin of humanity to have proper thoughts, words, and actions be lived globally, so we can lift that sin off of all the unborn children so they can live in the kingdom of heaven. Everybody knows the hardest job in the whole world is being the gracious good shepherd. And everybody, all you knows that all you science people that are going to solve all our problems with science, you're like all those people who call themselves religions, that their God is a woman. It's obvious. It's obvious God's a woman. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. So every time they talk about God, God always needs. It's like, but I thought God is omniscient essence of all existence that provided the water and the food and the capacity to provide shelter for those that we feed, keep the water clean and provide healthy food and love one another and eternal faithful peace. I thought God was the essence of holy covenants for eternity through faithfully loving one another, but not according to science and not according to all you corporations out there that say God is obviously a bitchy female. According to science, that's probably true. Because, God always needs money, We need more money, Recent elections, well, God said, what did God say? That make sure we get a pope from Chicago that has mob ties, because then we'll look more like the real deal. Okay, wait, what were we talking about again? I'm sorry. Now let's move people about the cabin area so we can have girls empower themselves by making more money off of pornography here in the States than being marketed in third world countries. Oh, that sounds like a heroic president. Here, auto-pin me this, auto-pin me that, And he's a Catholic, and he fancies himself to be like Jack Kennedy. And it's like, no, Jack wasn't perfect, but Jack was a good guy. Yeah, Bobby was a good guy too. They were trapped in the hell and couldn't see through the bureaucracy till they met Haile Selassie, and then they met Haile Selassie, and bang, bang, they shot me down, bang, bang, my baby shot me down, right? And that also happened to Haile Selassie, not to feel left out, all you black folks. Hey, how long shall they kill our prophets while we stand aside and look? Chicken's coming home to roost. Yeah, those apples don't fall far from the tree. But, guys, okay, it's obvious that God is a bitchy woman in the clouds and not a guy. No, guys. Okay, could you imagine a guy going to the club, right? Hottest girl walks up. You got a job. You live with your mother. Seriously? We'll have to have sex at my place? You don't have a job. You live with your mother. Or we're going to have sex at my place. Oh, my God. You are such a loser. No one would want to have sex with you. Get your dancing queen ass out of here. I'm the king of the drag show. I'm a lady killer. Women are superior to men. Women are gods. It's true. I don't make this stuff up. I don't make the news. I just report the news here, right? I mean, seriously. You guys have been doing Brother Love's Salvation Show, and when he lets go, half the valley quakes. It's brothers, because that's what he's there for. No, she's there for. If you don't have money, you don't have sex. Okay. If you live with your parent, you're a loser. If you don't have a job to pay extortion or cause extortion and exploitation, you're a loser. And then this last presidential election, all these Christians, we're Christians and we vote. And then there's their candidate, a smile is just a frown painted upside down. Amen. Right. We're going to make shitloads of money. We're going to lock out poor Mexicans. And we don't care if their daughters get raped to death in Mexico or drowned crossing the river. We're putting up a wall. We're going to make sure all the countries we've exploited for years pay us even more money to do so. And then we're going to go blow up Arabs that want to live the Lord's Prayer with all the business partners that we have that don't want to live the Lord's Prayer. We're going to make a shitload of money, and God is always watching. And, she walks up to you at the club. You live with your parent. You don't have a job. We have to go to my place to have sex. Yeah, I don't want to disrespect my dad. I don't think you're going to make a lot of noise. I think you're going to go wake me when you're done. That's it. Oh, thanks. You're a nasty girl, huh? Oh, got lots of money? You're funny. I know. Hi. I've been chemically poisoned by the worst perverts in the history of the world. On your dime, on your vote, on your documentation, on your Constitution, on your Bill of Rights, by your Supreme Court, by your executive and legislative, judicial. I don't think they're very judicial. They think they are, but there's nobody like Solomon in the building. I've watched TV shows. Hal Brown versus the Board of Education. How Roe versus Wade. Why can't you just live the Lord's Prayer? Then we don't even have to go to the club to be a loser or a winner. You've come to look for a king, young and sweet, only 17. Yeah, ooh, do. You can dance, you can die, having the time of your life. See that girl, watch that scene, digging the dancing queen. And they ain't never coming out of the club. They're never coming back. They've gone to Rose's Cantina. They've gone to be the sweet gypsy Rose. They got bell rings on their fingers and bells on their toes, and they ain't never coming back. They're not going to be shackled. Shackled by what? By your love. Ralph Earl Parsons Jr., your love. You're so archaic. Well, I do live with my parent. I do not have an extortion gig. I don't want to go to your house to have sex because I imagine I'd be disgusted by your house because, what's going on? Those are servants. Yeah. They don't look you in the eye. No. They don't. They only speak till they're spoken to. Oh, wow. Wow. Okay. Okay. That's awfully bizarro. Solomon Grundy say, I feel like I'm a comic book character. I think you are. I've just crossed over into the Twilight Zone. Guys, I don't want any scripts for my life written by people that are the best script writers in the history of the world. I just want to be left alone. Yeah. Even more so than Tracy Chapman. Yeah. I don't want to have an affectionate relationship with Heather Walker. I've always known she's been a kind of a bitchy woman since I saw her movies based on her books. And then I read her books. She said her books were like prayer. And I was like, if they're like prayer, why do you ask for money for them? When I wrote a book that was like a prayer, I asked somebody to distribute it for free so people could live the truth of the book, and no one would do it. It was in Sierra Vista, Arizona, 2009, or was it? Yeah, it was 9. It was the first year. It was the first year. It was on 12:22 in the morning when I finished writing down the book on April. It was Sunday. It was Easter morning. It was Easter morning at 12:22 in the morning. That's when I kind of like, whoa. I sat there and I finished writing down that book. The parable of Juan and Jesus. And I wrote at the end of the book, I looked at the clock, and it was 12:22 Sunday, Easter morning. Yeah. I was like, whoa. That's when I kind of sat there and went, wow, this, even though it's been manipulated by all these assholes, this was significant, I finished writing this book, and what my sister Linda, when she read it, sounds like Jesus Saves Earl. Somebody's got to do it. Okay? Why? Because God's a bitchy woman. Yeah, I swear, could you imagine a guy walking up to the hottest girl in the club and going, do you have a job? You live with your mother? We have to go have sex at my place? What a loser. Oh my gosh, I feel like Jared Leto. It's funny. Don't say it's not funny. I'm very powerful. Shh, I'm sexual. I'm an intellectual. Miriam, I'm a vegetarian. Miriam. She don't eat meat, but she sure liked the bone. Amy's favorite song from Boner, Dumb and Dumber. That's it. Okay. My favorite song from Dumb and Dumber soundtrack. My favorite was Crash because my kids used to run around the living to it and bump into each other and fall down, and it was hilarious, and I loved it. So I liked to put it on and watch Natalie and Noah do Crash. They were so cute, and then Emily joined them when they got older. Yeah, they're so cute. Oh my gosh, you're so cute. There you go, way too fast. Don't slow down, you're gonna crash. I liked it better. I've heard Hurdy-Gurdy Man. Yeah. Can We Still Be Friends? That's on the soundtrack, isn't it? But I like the kids. The kids are cute. But I do love Can We Still Be Friends by Todd Rundgren. Everybody knows they're all like Todd Rundgren, right? That's not my favorite Todd Rundgren song. My favorite Todd Rundgren, Gabe's is I Saw the Light. My favorite is Hello, It's Me. We Got to Get You a Woman. It's probably like fourth favorite after Can We Still Be Friends. First favorite, Hello, It's Me. I've thought about us for a long, long time. And second favorite is, It Was Late Last Night, which is a good one too. I kind of agree. That's kind of like, Brian Regan in right field, Grape and Cherry Snow Cones also being a favorite, right? They're both pretty damn good songs there. And Can We Still Be Friends yeah, that's a good one. We can't play this game anymore, but can we still be friends? Right. And then of course We Gotta Get You a Woman. Yeah, it's okay. That one's all right, but the other three are good. Can We Still Be Friends being, just a tier below I Saw the Light and Hello, It's Me. And it's hard to pick a favorite if you like Todd Rundgren's. Those are both good songs. They are. Hello, Wisconsin. Right. They went to the Todd Rundgren concert, remember? Okay. They also went to the Ted Nugent concert. Yeah, and Donna was back. Yeah, what other concerts do they go to? Eric stood in line to get tickets to Styx, which I like Styx. Lady, when you're with me, I'm smiling. Good. Anybody else like that song? That is a good song. You're my lady. Yeah, not to be confused with Lady by River Red, which is also a good song too. But Lady by Styx is also a favorite. Yeah. And then don't they sing Too Much Time on My Hands? Is that Styx? Got too much time on my hands. And don't they also sing Domo? I'm Kilroy. Doesn't Styx also sing Domo arigato, Mr. Roboto? Thank you very much, Mr. Yeah, I like Styx. Yeah, they're pretty cool. It's all right. But see, I didn't get all those songs too much. Hear those songs too much after we moved to Colville, Washington. All the white kids that's all we had was white people music and white kid music. Anytime we had black music, I had to watch Make You Feel Like Dancing from Canada on TV, or Val went to stay with a black guy named Mike Peoples in Seattle and brought back all his records, man. Well, not all his records. He gave her records, which were pretty cool. Yeah, we had Cameo, Shalimar, Slave, Pin the Tail on the Funky. For all you that don't know, that's Parliament. And I wasn't as fond of that. My favorite was Cameo. Second favorite was Shalimar. We already had Rolls Royce, which was, so I can't say that was my favorite because everybody knows how Earl loves Rolls Royce, big Quishon Gundicki. I thought her name was Rose Norwalt because that's what it said on the thing. Said her name was Rose Norwalt, which was not her name. That was a stage name. Her real name is Gwen Dickey. Okay. For all you Rose Norwalt fans, like the people. It's Sade. Her name's not Sade. Her name's Helen. The name of the band is Sade. Okay. The band's name is Sade. Helen is Helen. She goes by Sade, but that's a stage name, but her real name is Helen. Like of Troy, right? Yeah, so therefore. Yeah, so you didn't know that? I didn't know that. Somebody else had to explain it to me. You mean her name ain't Sade? She looked like a Sade. She act like a Sade. She not Sade. So her name, the band is Sade, and her name is Helen. Oh, get the fuck out of here. I think it was like Kenny Gamble or somebody like that on Facebook. No, her name's Helen. Her name is Helen. It's not Sade. No, Sade's the name of the band. Oh, wow. Get the fuck out of here. I did not know that. I do now. Okay. But I was not aware of that until later. Smile now, cry later. Anybody else like that? That's Sonny Osuna and the Sunlighters for all you anti, you know, Mexicano type people that don't understand. Put me in jail. Smile now, later. My favorite of theirs is, don't you love the violins at the end? Everybody knows what song I'm talking about. Oh, I love the things you say. Talk to me. Talk to me. Oh, that is a good ass tone. Yeah, Talk to Me by Sonny Osuna. Anybody else love that song? No one? No other good taste teamers around here. No, bunch of mineros, no soy capitans around here. Huh? No good taste whatsoever. Right? I'm very eclectic because of my mother. It's not so much of my father. My father's kind of like the neighbor. He plays lots and lots of mariachi music. My dad plays lots and lots and lots of country music. So I was going to go next door. I said, hey, imagine if somebody listened to it. Never mind. Listen to the same kind of music over and over and over again. When the rec hall, you hear me. I got Brazilian music. I got Indian music. I got jazz. I got R&B. I got hip hop. I got jazz. Yeah, I got country rock. Soft rock, classic rock, disc rock. I got everything. That band is like, what is he doing? What's this guy playing at? What's he going? Can he make up his mind? Then I guess you better finally decide. I think I have that. I'm not sure. I might pick up on one and let the other one ride. It's not often easy and not often kind. Then you guess you better make up your mind. You better go home, son, and make up your own mind. Which I also like. That is a good song too. I don't have I'm a Girl Watcher. I will need to put that on there. Unless, of course, I could get somebody to follow orders in the military and have, exemplary, collected songs of all the songs I've downloaded to my MP3 and ones we mentioned and more, with the highest quality to a digital player that sits there. Thank you, Pato and Roger. I don't think I have that. I should probably put that on my MP3 too. I don't know if I do or not. I'll have to check the orange one because the blue one, time we go out in the heat now, it does the start again thing, and I gotta do it. It's going to quit being hot pretty soon, and it's hard on little cheap tech equipment when it's 108 degrees outside and you're out there trying to survive, chemical poisoning to get the melanoma stuff to come out of your skin. Yeah, it comes out. Yeah, the melanoma's trying to get the cancer, the toxins out. So you go out in the sun, and it reminds you we're alive. If you hide in the shadows and just die, it feels nauseating and uncomfortable. That's because you're detoxing, like Jesus told me. He goes, Earl, what? You got poison in your bowels, right? And like Suzuki told me, I drink water, better out than in. At first, I had rectal polyps and bleeding. And then every time, it was right after I stopped working at that grocery store when I went from just under 200 pounds to 240 because I also blew up. Because if you don't get vaccinated, you can't go to the store or do other things that we bureaucrats say you have to do to survive in hell. And I was like, wow, this is real swell of you guys. And I told them beforehand, I said, guys, you could always just put a saline shot or a vitamin shot in my arm. If I have to go do this, if you really love, the message of my life, the story of my life, living in Baltimore, Lawrenceburg, right? So, but instead, no, science is going to replace God with a bitchy woman in the clouds that always needs money for us to do anything on planet Earth. I swear, could you see a guy walk up to the hottest chick in the club and say, do you have a job or do you work? You live with your parents? Oh my gosh, we're going to have to go to my place to have sexual activities? You're such a loser. A guy would sit there and say, that's okay, baby. You live with your mom? Well, I love my mama too. I wish my mom was here, but she was killed with her cancer treatment by assholes that think science with satellites can replace the gracious good shepherd with a bitchy female. She's got to always have money to have it, like all the people online. God says, and it's like, your God is not a he. Everybody knows your God is a she, and she's the world's first profession. Your God isn't Jehovah. Your God is Lilith. Yeah. And Eve tried to go back, and Eve said, "This sucks. I'm not going back here, never." Eve said, "Been down one time, been down two times, never going back again." I broke down and let him in. Boom, 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 boom. And then Eve should get her ass up, stop having contests for money for singing on TV, and then say shacking up is all you want to do. You can go your own way. You can call it another lonely day, another lonely day. You can go your own way. That's what the spirit of Eve should do to get leave from you that think science can replace a gracious good shepherd with a bitchy bureaucrat in space that's a socialist communist party of we need more money for sexual procreation in order to destroy our sexual reproduction with surgical procedures signed off on by he signed your bill, now you're a law. Or we could all get together, have lots of sex, dress our kids up in Kevlar, and go murder people for shitloads of money and lots of plastic for condoms, cell phones, and lots of pornography. Lots of pornography. You're going to need lots of money to pay off the porn star that you had sex with that you didn't want anybody to know you were having sex with. But then when everybody found out, your cool meter went up with idiots that think it's cool, way off the charts. Bam! The bell you rang to prove that you were strong. We never could explain that summer rain, the looks we got when we got back, right? The things we did last summer, I'll remember all winter long. You also hear that coming from the Rec Hall one. That's jazz. It's supposed to be a Christmas tune, but it's not. But that, and they also had, the only Christmas tune they had on there was also had Lou Rawls. But, Christmas tunes. But, I still have the CD. It's somewhere in a box in the Rec Hall. But it had 3 songs from Nancy. One was The Things We Did Last Summer. The other was one of my favorites of hers. Maybe it's much too early in the game. Oh, but I thought I'd ask you just the same. What are you doing New Year's Eve? You know how I love Nancy Wilson, right? Okay, seriously, okay. So, and then the other one was was a Christmas song. Yeah. It's that time of year when the world falls in love. Everyone you hear seems to say Merry Christmas. May your New Year's dreams come true. Right? And this song of mine in 3/4 time wishes you and yours a Merry Christmas too. Right? Everybody loved Nancy Wilson, right? No? Okay, what do you know for good taste? Get out of here, Minero. Soy Capitans only. Solo. Siempre solo only here. You're so silly. But that's also, you also hear that. Okay? From the record. Siempre solo. Does anybody else love that song? I don't just like that song. I love that song. Tres Los Rios, Simply Solo. Oh my God, that song is gorgeous. If you don't think it's gorgeous, that's a game changer. Okay, that's like loopy and strings. And how are the kids going to make up their own minds? They're children, Leonard. I'm feeling very Leslie Winkle tonight. Okay. Winkle lines of Dinkle. It does. But that's, Robert's name was Robert Van Winkle. Or was it, what's his name again? It's Van Winkle, right? What's his first name? You know, Vanilla Ice. Is it Robert? It might be Robert. I don't know. Is it Bob? I think it's Bob. What about Bob? I think it's Bob. I'm not sure. It was depressing to find out what a diva bitch the dude from Color Me Bad was, because I was like, what happened to that? Well, he got DV bitchy, and then he ended up working as a mechanic and stuff because nobody wanted to work with him because he'd be so bitchy about shit. I am Color Me Bad. Okay, you do have a nice voice. Now you drink too much beer, you're fat, and you're like, glory days, and it's like, dude, just, stand up for the Lord's Prayer. Yeah, and then, we'll go on a diet. and we won't have to get vaccinated and put on 40 pounds and work at a Freon genocide factory that resupplies little girls to be raped to death in Mexico because of bad science projects, because people are like, we have to fight. Why do we have to fight? Because it's not time to live the Lord's Prayer yet. You sound just like the assholes that are addicted to violent sex cult activities in Sierra Vista that are all your Jack Reacher, Jack Ryan, Tom Clancy heroes there. Wow, this is like the sum of all fears. What are you going to do? Well, I'm going to sum it all up and then not be afraid of any of it, because life's eternal, grace is infinite. The Lord's Prayer is perfect deliverance from evil. Love, love, love. Why'd you take so long to come to me? Because you're looking for nub in all the wrong places. I was at the club. I went to the club. No, I don't go to the club. I hate the clubs. I despise clubs. Street life for a nickel all the time. Street life, it's like fairy tale. Street life. Yeah, I love that song. Bills love that song. I love Randy Crawford. I know everybody knows it, and know you never do. No, she's so cute, and she has just the most wonderful voice. Is it only me? Am I the only one with good taste around here? Because no one seems to say, hey, like and share, on the scribe, make a comment. I totally agree with you, Ralph. Randy Crawford has one of the best voices ever. Oh, thank you for not being a complete fucking chicken shit afraid of all these perverts in the valley of the shadow of death. Thank you for standing up for the beauty of the Lord's Prayer with me. And also for having good enough taste to like Randy Crawford songs. Thank you. Okay, bueno. There you go. Okay. You're funny. And then you'll get these assholes that will actually go look at my, if I say something other thing. Nobody even watches this channel. No one does, except for the Lord, who's not God, and the devil. The devil and the Lord, just like in the book of Job, are the only ones watching my YouTube channel. And whenever the devil shows up, the devil says, this guy's a loser, nobody's watching his channel. And when the Lord watches it, the Lord says, Earl, what? Life's eternal and grace is infinite. All right, you're going to be successful or die trying. And I say, I'm going to die anyway. And he goes, there's your incentive. Well, because I'm a man. Yes, I am, and I can't help but love you so. Right? Go ring a bell to prove you're strong. Get a random tandem bike, or what is it? The rented tandem bike. Yeah. The rented tandem bike. They had a tandem bike with the lunches we would pack. I love that song. Don't you ever love that song? The things we did last summer, I'll remember all winter long. It's a do. You don't have to like that song. You don't have to have very good taste. It's not a requirement to be alive. Okay? It's not a requirement. You can have really shitty, crappy taste in music. You can like the Dirty Water song. You can listen to some of the worst hip-hop in the history of people talking about their dysfunctional sex life for idolatry. You can do that. No, you have the freedom to do that. But why would you? That would be like saying, I will fight to the death to listen to Mein Kampf be recited at a football stadium while singing war songs over money to invent centers of commerce to manipulate people with technology and call it freedom. I will not fight to the death for you to hear me speak truthfully and faithfully, no. But I will stand up without fear and with the courage of kindness, eternally, over and over and over again. Life's eternal and grace is infinite. You're gonna do this or die trying, Earl. Gonna die anyway. There's my incentive. I love you eternally. I love you more than you think Danny Hathaway loves you. Yeah. And I never wrote a song for money. I ain't never sold a song for money. I ain't never told anybody in my life that going out and getting money was more valuable than my time with them. And if Patrick doesn't believe that, if Natalie doesn't believe that, if Noah doesn't believe that, if Emily doesn't believe that, if Kate doesn't believe that, if Crumb doesn't believe that, then they've been psychologically, mentally, and physiologically raped into a gang of murderers who say science and satellites can replace the faithful love of an eternal gracious good shepherd. along with a guy who acts like a bitch at the club. Seriously? You don't have a job? You live with your parent? And we have to go to my place to have sex? Fortunately for you, my cat ran off with some homosexuals in the back of a limo. So I do have a vacant place on the bed tonight, and I like to have my private parts licked. Oh Lord, stuck in the Lodi again. Right? What are you gonna do? I got this, man. I got this. You're a terrible person. No, you're a terrible person. If we were living the Lord's Prayer, you wouldn't be listening to anonymously to this YouTube channel, hearing me kick your lying ass to get technology to collect all the evidence of here's what the Messiah is willing to do to get people to stand up for the Lord's Prayer, because he's fun, he's perfect, and he points out things, wow, I could learn from this. You could. But will you? Right? Will you learn from this channel? Because this channel is for you, it's not for me. The only thing social media has ever gotten me was, what they consider legalized abuse through bureaucracy for me standing up for the truth of the Gospels. So just like Jesus and the others that came before me, the only thing speaking publicly has gotten me has been the torment and the selfishness and the abuse of the selfish. Why have you forsaken me? Life's eternal, grace is infinite. Right. Forgive them, Father. They don't know what they're doing. Okay. Thanks, Julian. I love you too. I'm talking to Ralph. Got a relative. I don't know if it was a computer. I don't think it was a computer program, but he was talking to me in the future. A young man that plays basketball is very handsome. Yeah. And everybody accuses him of being Latino or whatever too. He probably might be. Yeah. Knowing my taste and people like me in the future. Yeah. Probably met mom in a playground. Hey, goodbye, Rosie. I don't have to leave Rosie, the Queen of Corona. We can have a son and call him Julian. Well, let's do that. He likes basketball. Cool. And a girl like Natalie will have a ginormous crush on him. Who wouldn't? He's gorgeous. Looks kind of like Kid Ray from Lean on Me, but he's an athlete and plays basketball. And Jaime Hawkins type. Well, kind of, but looks a little bit more like Kid Ray from Lean on Me. Good basketball player. He's like me, guys. Okay, right. But he was all excited because he was talking to me. He's like, I'm talking to, at that time, people referred to me also as Ralph, and I introduced myself as Ralph because I was in the Sierra Vista. Everybody's calling me Ralph. I'm talking to Ralph. When all Jennifer Lopez was Sonia Sin at Fiesta Foods, I'm talking to Ralph. I'm like, this guy's totally geeking out. Of course, I did the same thing with Jesus when I was talking to Saladin. Jesus, we're talking to Saladin, Jesus. It's Saladin, Jesus. I touched Dennis Johnson's shoulder, Jesus. It's too funny. It happens. It happens. For me, I just, I understand why people, freak. Oh my gosh, it's Earl. It's like, yeah, I get it. It's Earl. I know. Like the little kids that came up from Sonora and Sierra Vista. Es Jesus. No, me llamo es Rafael. I went by Rafael then because, we were in a military town. But no, my name's Earl. Family calls me Earl. But that's Earl. Yes, I am Earl, the son of Ralph and Mary from the book of Revelation. Yes, I go to the bathroom. Yes, I do have insecurities, especially from all the sexual abuse from all the perverts, and how it affected my wife and my kids. And that was very sad and uncomfortable. So I know how it feels to be vulnerable and to be abused, and even more so than Bill Bixby pretending to be the Incredible Hulk. Yes, yeah. And so yeah, I know what it's like to be put down, abused, treated like crap, totally ignored when you're the best person just about anybody's ever heard of or known or met, treated like shit for doing so. Because other people are like, you're not the make-believe God in my head. I don't want to be. She's a bitch at the club that, okay, are you not paying attention? Did you not understand what we just talked about? Okay, well, you go run back to your God and your satellites and your scientific solutions to save us from all your bitchiness. I don't think heaven's missing an angel and you're laying on my pillow as no, there's no Halo and no. And I don't like that game and I've never played it and I never will. But I love you guys, all right? We'll talk later. Okay. Peace out. I got to go play. I got to go I'm catching Southern Mississippi Eagles and the Western Kentucky Hilltoppers up to the rest of the people. Well, they resisted marketing. I know they were still doing, they were pushing back and they were fighting, and I get that. It was 2013. And by January 22nd, 2013, nobody stood up for Lawrenceburg with me. Right. But you don't think there's people worth protecting and saving, praying to Jesus for the Lord's Prayer that don't know who I am, that exist in Bowling Green, Kentucky, Hattiesburg, Mississippi, and Lafayette, Louisiana? We have to go to my place to have sexual procreation activities. You're such a loser. Okay, guys, I love you, all right, man. Peace out.